constantly harp on it, work on it to hone these particular career aspect, which is confidence. And I think if someone has confidence in him, in both in body and mind, I think a major part of the of a man's success or a human success is ensured. So that's why I thought the first session I will speak about confidence, why it is so important in a human life, and I will share some of the anecdotes of my own life, which will help people, the audience, to understand why confidence is the key to go ahead.
Wonderful, wonderful. I think we love to hear that because I'm in Chennai right now, but I thought that I will kind of join this and definitely would like to listen to this your story about that. What has changed and how you have kind of taken that because I love this line called consistently and constantly. So that's very, very
Right.
important because we generally leave that persuasion, persistence is not there at all. अगर आपने एक बार try किया नहीं हुआ आप छोड़ते हो आगे बढ़ते हो sort of that.
Correct.
But I really love this line, so I thought that it will be good to hear from you about this. So thank you so much again for taking time out for this. Good evening, everyone.
Thanks to you, Rajeshji, as well. Since you have locked into this event, taken out time from your busy schedule, and you are sitting in Chennai, thanks for joining us. That's the way we can, come up with and establish bonding, human bonding, and that's very important in today's world, especially after pandemic, that we should shake hands, join hands to keep the relationship going. And
Absolutely.
the pandemic has in a big way has shown each and every human being that how collaboration, how human bonding, human relationships are important. One single person cannot go ahead and live in this world, which is very, very challenging. So in today's world, it's very important. So thanks for Rajeshji for joining over here in my session, and I believe this will take all of us a long way. Thank you so much.
Great. Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay. Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining. We have Subhasis Chatterjee today, who is going to share about confidence is a key. I'm sure he has some great story to share. So, but before that, let me just quickly brief you about this concept called emotional cafe. Some of you might be new. Some of you have been joining it for some time. So, emotional cafe is, as Subhashi said, to connect two people, right? So it's important that in today's world, it's important that we should be able to kind of connect with each other. We should be able to listen to each other. We should be able to learn from each other. We should be able to kind of share, collaborate with each other. That's very, very important in today's world. So the objective of Emotional Cafe by mHealth is connecting two dots. So one who has, so everybody was like want to do some certain things, and as I said, that persistence and persuasion is something basically we always leave in between, right? So idea here is that how, what, where, when things happen, nobody knows. But if you persist, if you kind of think that, okay, I have to kind of do that, I'm sure things changes. And that's what we have learned in mHealth. And it's been more than 2 years we have been in this journey. And today we have I think 5 to 6 communities basically which we run. We work with multiple corporates, and we started in pandemic, and that was probably the worst time to start. But yes, that is something basically which we kept on moving. So today I'll say that, and I would love to listen to us from Subhasis about. And I really love this line called consistently and constantly. So I'm again repeating that line. So I'll definitely be listening to him. So I'll introduce my colleague Gargi. She is running this Emotional Cafe. Gargi, so over to you, ma'am. and you can introduce about Subhasis and then start this. In any case, my name is Rajesh Punjal. So I'm sorry, I forgot to tell my name. So Jackie, over to you.
So good evening, everyone. We have Subhasis Chatterjee here with us. I call him Subhasis. I have been knowing him past, I think, 4-5 years. Subhasis Chatterjee. More than that. Yes, more than that. I have also worked for him.
And you have come to my place in Calcutta as well.
Yes, we met. So Subhasis Chatterjee is a digital content creator from Kolkata with an experienced legacy of more than 3 decades. He is an author, blogger, and a key speaker. He is a social media influencer too, founder and CEO of Connect India. An IT outfit, his core competency lies in the areas of content strategizing, personal branding, digital marketing, social media propagation, reputation management, and entrepreneurship skill development. He has delivered speeches in more than 500 conclaves across the world. He is winner of Top Food Bloggers Award, Best National Blogger in 2019, Fireboxx National Blogger Icon Award in 2022, and Eastern Region's Top Blogger Icon Award 2022. So today his topic is confidence is the key for success. Yes, confidence, which we should all have in ourselves. Confidence. I am a spiritual healer and counselor. I'll just give a small touch in the chakras. We in the below the tailbone, we have our first chakra that is called root chakra. Root chakra connects with our Mother Earth, which actually strengthen our confidence, our willpower. Now, this confidence and willpower, when it connects with the Mother Earth, it gives us that energy to survive and struggle. I won't say struggle, to reach that success point. So, friends, here we are all to hear from Subhasis Chatterjee how his root chakra got activated with that confidence power. Over to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Gargi. Thanks. It's a pleasure getting an introduction from you. You being my kind of a sister, friend. So it's been a long time that we share a nice relationship. So when you invited me on this forum, so I had no other choice but to say yes to you. So that's a pleasure. So So let me start right away without wasting any further time, any further delay. So today's topic is like confidence is the key. How confidence can take you forward. Now, to start with, I will tell you, like, you must be wondering, this guy is it's kind of a chatterbox. His title is Chatterjee, and he is kind of a chatterbox, constantly doing a lot of bug and whatnot. But then, on the contrary, if you come to know that I was really very shy when I was a school kid. Nobody could force me to come out with a word or sentence. If someone used to ask me something, then I used to keep myself mum. So that's the challenge that my teachers, even people at home, my father, my mother, and we had a joint property at home. My uncle, aunt, everybody had a tough time making me speak to them. So I came from a very middle class, well neat, traditional background, from a North Calcutta, very, very traditional, open-minded Brahmin family. So, but then going ahead, when I started interacting with a lot of people after my school days, when I came across a lot of students in my colleges, I I gradually realized that it's a world where you should open up. Unless you open up, you won't be allowed to be mixed with people. So, and if you cannot mix with people, you fail to get to know their psyche, what they think, and you cannot imbibe new knowledge from them. So I gradually tried to open up, maybe few words, not just it cannot be like in within a day or two you cannot change yourself, right? So it takes time. So but then I started opening up myself. Then I completed my college, my university, and then I gradually joined, print media journalism. I was a sports journalist in print media way back in 1989 when I started my professional career. I was a sports journalist. So I used to cover the mainstream sports like football, cricket, and tennis. So when you are a journalist, you need to talk, you need to speak, because you have to cover a lot of games. You need to speak to a lot of, sports person, uh, people attached to sports fraternity. So that's how the, things began. Like I had to understand, and I had to, improvise myself to talk to different segments and different genre of people. Be it sports, somebody is from sports administration, somebody from political background, somebody from you know uh, you know uh, uh, a hardcore sports person, somebody as a family of that particular sports person. So you I had to talk a lot. I had to understand. I had to constantly read a lot of books. So so to just to get into the group, to just to uh, uh, to make myself free from the shackle. So that way things started to begin, and I started speaking to a lot of people. But at that point of time, I seriously didn't had an idea that I will uh, keep on going ahead like that, and one day I will uh, become a keynote speaker across the world on different aspects on my expertise. Now, um, now what happens is like why confidence is important. Now, I worked for more than a decade in print media, then I switched over to web journalism and content management. Uh, I had a formal degree of master's in English literature, and then I thought I must be you know while I was assimilated and working for some IT companies as in the strength of content management head or vice president content, then I had a feeling that if I have to excel in this particular genre of work, then I need a formal study on it. So I did another course, another study, another degree from an university in abroad. It's Sheffield University in UK. So I did my second post graduation over there. Now that actually had given me uh, uh, an eye opener, you can call it an eye opener, to look the world from a different angle, because they had international students jostling up in the classes, constantly interacting with each other. There were Asian students, there were European students, there were Americans as well. So you get to know a lot from their understanding. And when I joined those classes, I could gauge that I'm way behind from their understanding, their know-how, actually, their technical know-how and everything around them. So I gradually tried to cope up with their things they perceive and the way they perceive. So it's really a very happy hunting kind of an experience, where I could hone my skills, my understanding, my perspective to look at different things from my end. So, and that could have been possible only because as I was given the platform of that kind of a huge global university where I could study. And in that way, I'm really, really thankful to God. So then, once I completed that study, I got back-to-back two offers in India. One is the first sorry, the first offer was from IBM Bangalore as their India operations content head, and then the second one was ITC Calcutta, Indian Tobacco Calcutta, as their assistant general manager, AGM corporate communication. So both the offers was very, very lucrative at that point of time, with huge salary, huge perks, and the kind of prestige and offers that I had. It was mind-boggling from a person emerging from a very, very middle-class background. So, but then there was some kind of a bug I was feeling in my stomach to come up as and start my career as an entrepreneur, because that kind of an education, that kind of an exposure I got from my second professional study. So that was the thing. Then I started discussing with my friends living abroad or maybe established in different positions across India in a very respectable position. So I thought I would speak to them to take their guidance, to take their experience. So I spoke to them. Now, mind you, friends, in my family at both ends, from my father's end and from my mother's end, there was nobody who has tried their luck as an entrepreneur. Everybody was in service sector. For my father, everybody was into central government job. From my mother's end, somebody was in public sector, somebody was in government job. But there was not a single person who has tried their luck or hand or mind in entrepreneurship. Nobody. So if I had to do it, I had to do it of my own. And honestly, there is a normal concept, there is a normal feeling that if you have to go for a business, you have some kind of resources in terms of money, in terms of other facilities like establishment, place, space, and other things that you have to be there. Honestly, when I decided and started my journey way back in 2004 as an entrepreneur, started my IT company, Connect India, I didn't have a computer at home. Just imagine how brave I was. Maybe that was too much of me to take that kind of a bravery. But then I was very optimistic that I can make it in the days to come. I didn't have a single computer, and I was trying to build up an IT company. What a joke! So then I started doing it, functioning it rather from a cyber cafe. That time I clearly remember that the cyber cafe charges was 10 rupees per hour. I used to go to a cyber cafe near my place and used to operate from there, paying 10 rupees per hour. And I gradually started working on that. I started speaking to my counterparts in India, in different parts of the country, interacting with my friends who are established in abroad in different countries to help me out with the prospect of getting some work to start with. And when the first work came, that was came from a Kolkata guy, and he's from Jadavpur University, a computer science engineer, established and settled in Los Angeles, California, in US. And he had given me the work, the first assignment, and I had to perform it single-handedly from the cyber cafe. That was the challenge. I still remember those days. And that was the challenge I had taken. And it's all because of confidence, guys. I can assure you that that's the key. If you have the will, there is a way, always. Whether you have the background, whether you have the gadgets, whether you have the resources, it's not at all important. You should have the will. You should have the positive courage. You should have the positive thinking that can actually drive you to success. Now, going ahead, one very interesting story I want to share with you. Like, why I told you that there was a bug of entrepreneurship that was there in my stomach in 2004. But another aspect which actually forced me to take up entrepreneurship. It was the March 2003, if I'm not mistaken. If you can remember, there was a US-Iraq war. And my last company, when the IT company where I used to work is called Web Spiders. They had a lot of branches across the world, and I used to work as their, vice president content in their content division. I used to look after their content division, digital content division. I had a team of 6 people, which I was heading. Now, we had some client from Middle East, some from US, and because of the war, the company, my company, Web Spiders, was not getting, the payment from their clientele from US and Middle East, for which they were our payment, our employees' payment was started to be very, very irregular at one point of time. And one day came when the directors called me for a meeting, for a serious meeting, and they told me that we are not being able to, take it forward. This content we have to wrap up the show because we are not getting payment. It's being very, very irregular. We are not being able to pay you back. You guys have a good amount of pay, and you are 6 in the team. So we are not being able to, carry on with the entire show. So we have to probably wind up this content wing. So I could understand that they paid all the dues duly, and we had to shake hands to leave the organization, all 6 of them. I constantly tried to find a job, but then because of that war, the hiring process from different companies, different IT companies, was almost stopped because nobody was, was interested to hire a senior person who had to offer a good amount of salary, a respectable salary at that point of time, because of the war only. So I had to sit back home, and I had no job. Just imagine, I was at that point of time, I was married for around 5 years. I had a kid. I had my son of 4 years, and then I was sitting back at home. My wife was a school teacher in a very respectable school in Calcutta, a very prominent top school in Calcutta, where she used to work as a physics HOD. And then it was probably of her, with her salary, the entire family was running at that point of time. So I was sitting back home, though I was constantly trying for job, but then I was not getting. It was terrible experience. It was terrible experience sitting at home, doing nothing, constantly trying, sending out applications for getting a job, and I'm not getting the job of the kind of job that I should be getting and I was looking for. So, and my dad and my mom, they're old people, they are retired people. They live with me, and they're seeing every single aspects of the day-to-day affair in front of their eyes, which was not good. They were accepting it for the time being, but then they were not feeling well. I'm sure about it. So it was a painful experience for them as well. So in this way, let me tell you, it was 1.5 years, 18 months I had to sit back home before I could finally decide and jump up to a kind of entrepreneurship journey, which is Connect India, with which I'm still going ahead. I'm still running my show with a 16-member team all across the world. All across the world, I'm functioning and the company is established in Calcutta with a branch in Bangalore. So, and I have a presence global. I have a global presence as well. So that that's the story. That's the kind of experience which was a teaching for me. I wanted to share this story with you guys only because if I can, everybody can, and I believe all of you can. So it's an experience that I believe every single person, whether you have or you haven't, it's hardly make a difference. Whether you have money, whether you don't have money, whether you have resources or you don't have resources, you keep your confidence intact. You keep your positive mindset intact. I'm sure you guys can make it. It's not a rocket science. So this is the my career journey. And then going ahead today, I have around 75K followers across the world. Every single month, unique 75K followers who is constantly watching me on social media. Around 48K people look for my answers every single day in Quora. They send out different queries on different skill set that I have expertise and I have expertise on. They look for different solutions. They discuss challenges with me, in their challenges which they face in their lives, in their day-to-day affairs, their personal problems, and they send out those queries in my Quora account, expecting answers from me, and that is around 40,000 queries every month that I face, and I really love that. Uh, you know, coming back with my uh, answers and feedback in the best possible way, and I love them giving solutions. I am a part of the WordPress international community and Mozilla Firefox international community. I speak on different speak in their different conclaves, as I'm being invited to talk on different uh, conclaves and conferences in India and outside India as well. So, and I love to speak in front of the crowd, because that's the way I develop the connection with human existence. And I love to share the relationship. I love to build up the relationship, and I love to help the people in a big way. So that's my story, guys. That's about it. Now, if you have any questions, I'm ready to answer.
Thank you so much, Subhasis. Thank you so much for your story. And I'm sure there must be many people who must have got motivated. There must be people who might be going through this kind of phase, and now listening to your story, they will build their confidence. Well, I would hear like, if there's anyone who wants to ask anything, they can. Please go ahead. If there's any question, if there's a Prashantji, do you have a UK? Please go ahead.
Yes, so Subhasis, I think it's a very inspirational journey. Let me open my mic, my camera. So start video. Okay. Yeah. So namaskar. So fantastic journey. What you have gone through. I think there will be a lot of people out there who would be, looking forward to your journey and the inspiration that you have given. I want to know only one specific thing. In those 18 months, it's very difficult for any human being to keep the mindset at that level, to keep yourself positive, to keep yourself going. When so many things are happening around you, the family looking at you with a lot of doubtful eyes, your parents not being happy with what the situation, or any parent would not be happy. So they are not different from any other parent, a caring parent. Maybe your wife would have been concerned about the way it's going for you during that period. And how did you manage to keep your mental balance and keep it at the positive level?
Yes, very, very pertinent question, and thank you for the question, sir. Yeah, I'll tell you very, in a very candidly, rather. Like every morning, I used to get up at 7 a.m. because that's the time my wife used to leave home for the school. So automatically, I got awake. So after I awake, I had nothing to do except keep myself fit, keep on thinking in a very positive way, and keep myself sticking to a very, very hopeful situation. Like I used to speak to myself and tell me constantly that probably today is the day when something will crack and some feedback will come from some company where I am applying that yes, we are interested and we want to offer you this, right? So I never ever have got disappointed for the situation, and I kept my positive thinking intact. I kept my positive attitude intact for the time being. I knew that maybe it's a question of today, tomorrow. I definitely didn't had any idea of waiting for maybe 1.5 years, but I had no clue for that. But then I was hoping against hope, and never never short of having any kind of hope, positive thinking that probably the next morning I'm going to get a good news from my from an employer, new employer. So it went on. Every day the same same story was going on, and I was hoping against hope. I was speaking to a lot of people, a lot of my friends. They were aware of my situations, all my childhood friends mostly, and from India, from abroad, and they kept on telling me that Subhasis, it's time that you cannot afford to lose hope. You cannot afford to lose your confidence, because this is the only human key and human factor that is in your hand. Everything else you cannot control, but your mental balance, your confidence level, your positive thinking, that is in your hand.
Wonderful.
In your that is in your ability that you can control. It's kind of a remote control that you have in your hand, and if you want to go down, you will go down very steadily, and that will leave you with nothing, and maybe that will paralyze you with your existence as well. But you cannot afford to do that, because look up at your wife. She is struggling for the time being, day in and day out, trying to making all of you happy. So it's your idea, it's your prerogative that you should stand by your wife even when you do not have the job. You should support your wife mentally, that you are happy. You are a new father of a 4-year-old kid, so you should play with him, you should spend time with him, irrespective of the fact whether you have a job, you don't have a job, you earn money or you don't earn money. What people outside your home or the world says about you or gossip about you care a damn. You just you should concern about your kid, your family, your existence, your parents, and your wife. So if you can take care of all these, then I I mean there will be somebody seeing from
Yes.
upwards. We are all we are all very strong believer of God. I'm personally a God fearing person, so I am a strong believer of God. So you can just see just behind me there is a
Yes.
asana, steady asana of God. So
Yes.
so there is we are a strong believer of God. I told you at the very outset that I come from a Brahmin family. We are Chatterjee. We are a Brahmin family from Bengal. So we are a believer in God. So uh, so I had a strong feeling that somebody from above is constantly watching our activity, our struggle, our mental affliction, what is happening outside, how we are combating it, how we are moving ahead day by day, and probably something very rosy, something very very positive awaiting at the corner, probably in a day or two. Though I didn't know that I have to wait for 1.5 years to see a new morning, but then it happened for the good. When I waited for 18 months, came out with another huge result, which I never ever expected.
So you're absolutely right when you say that, actually God was preparing you for the big stage, which result is in
Correct.
front of you, and not only in front of you, but with everybody now. They know who you are and the kind of
Yeah.
accolades that you are receiving. You are now present all across the world in so many countries and with so many people assisting in your organization. So the it
Yeah.
is just like I want to just give you a simile which comes to my mind is that the caterpillar will take its own time to become a butterfly, but it has to go through
True.
that painful period, which you as a caterpillar went through that painful period. Because that painful period of coming out of that what do you call that covering, it has to break through. Therefore, that means that the wings need to become stronger and stronger day in, day out for it to really break through.
True.
And that's what has happened to you. And kudos to you for having endured that time and making it big as you went ahead. You
Yeah.
created, in fact,
I'll
now
tell
what
you.
you have done, Dada, what you have done actually, I'll tell you, which is far more greater than getting. You have created jobs for a lot of people. That means those many families are
Yes.
now making their living, rearing their families because of you. If you had got your job alone, you would have done it only for your family. Now you're doing it for 16 other families and growing. So that is
It's all
what
because of the
your own.
Almighty. It's all.
It is for
I'm
everybody.
nobody.
He is there for
Yeah,
everyone.
sir.
It's
I'm
only
nobody.
those
Actually,
people.
it is the Almighty who is creating everything. I'm
I
just
would
a
like to.
messenger.
I would like to correct you there that he comes in various forms. So the people who kept you going, your
Medium.
family, everybody has got
Yeah.
that God supporting you. So he comes in various forms, as we know. I'm also a Brahmin. I'm a Brahmin. So I fully understand from the point of view that you are talking to me. You see. So
And
kudos to
one more
you
thing, I
and
just one more point I forgot to add. I want to tell everybody about that. Like during that time when my wife used to go to school, and my kid was used to play with my parents, and I'm alone in the room. I used to cry sometime
no
because
problem.
I'm a very emotional person by nature. So I used to cry, but I used to hide my face so that nobody comes to know that I was
Yes.
low at certain point. But then at the very next moment, I could
Like
make myself understand.
Charlie Chaplin used to cry in the rain.
I think crying is also good.
It
If
is very good.
Yes,
It is because
if
that's a
you have
release.
born as a human being, and you're crying, it's
Yes.
good. Experience the crying also,
Yes.
experience the downfall also. That is also an
More
experience.
than that, Gargi, more than that, it's a release. Because
Relief.
if you keep
Yes,
that bottled up,
absolutely.
yeah, because if
You
you
have to
keep that
release it.
bottled up, you cannot maintain your mental balance.
Obviously.
And a man,
Yes.
we are always taught that the man should never cry. It's wrong. It's a wrong concept.
Yes.
Very wrong
It's
You have
concept.
to release your
Crying
emotions.
is for everyone. Crying is for everyone. It's for human being. Even the pets,
Correct.
they cry. Even the pets, they sometimes
Yes.
Yeah,
cry
yes,
tears in
yes,
their
yes.
eyes. But
Yes. Yes.
again,
Yes. Yes.
crying is something. It's an
100%.
emotion. आप जब खुश होते हो, still you cry. You cry at that time
Yes.
also. So crying is something you're
Very much.
releasing it. You're releasing it. Wonderful. But the most beautiful part which I liked here is Subhasis does that. He said that I used to talk to me, and the same thing which I did when I was going through the downfall. Every day I used to talk to me that when my husband lost his job and I was only the earning member, I was only the earning. So at that time I used to think if I cry, if I never used to show my that that low face in front of my husband, because I know if I show that he will feel low.
Sure.
So I used to hide that. I was earning, but I used to hide. Why? To give him that moral support. See, everything will be fine. Now, what Subhasis that said, every day I used to live for the present day. I used to just leave it on
Yes.
the God. Tomorrow I have never seen. Today we have spent the day wonderfully. All the family members, we are together. The kids are with me. My husband is there in front of me. I used to tell my husband, I am there in front of you. Your kids are there. Be happy. Tomorrow we have never seen. Tomorrow anything can happen. Tomorrow I may die. Tomorrow you may die. Tomorrow anything can happen. So live. You have lived now. Tomorrow also we will live.
Right. Absolutely. Yes. That's the spirit.
At the present
That's the spirit.
moment. That is what I have learned from this, my struggle. You have raised your hand.
Good evening, everybody. Am I audible?
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Acha.
Please carry on, sir.
I guess in the last few seconds of the discussion, at least one thing got cleared. There was an age-old dialogue, "मर्द को दर्द नहीं होता है," तो ये clear हो गया कि मर्द को भी दर्द होता है. Even men have to cry.
Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Right, sir.
Yes.
I see a lot of men actually laughing on this sentence right now because there is a complete universal acceptance of it by now.
No, I'm being very, very honest. I want to, whenever I speak to anybody or whenever I speak to a conclave, I try to speak my mind. Actually, that's the way I love to connect with the people. So there is no hide and seek. There is no no shame speaking the truth that I had to cry during my tough days. So it's an honest confession. So yes, all the human beings, all the males, they have their sobs and sufferings as well. So, and they have to at certain point of time, they also have to purge out. So it's important that they, even if they hide their face and cry, they have to. The space has to be given, and the space is needed.
All right. My question here is, sir, it's a little practical one. You just mentioned about the fact that you actually welcome questions on the web and you answer most of them, and people look forward to your answers. Am I right?
Yes,
My question-
there is a platform called Quora, where you can post your Quora. Yeah, where you can post your questions. You must be knowing. So I was speaking. I have an account, so people come to my account and send out questions. So
my question is, which was the most challenging question that you ever faced in your life so far as such, which you had to really think and ponder to reply back?
Wonderful question.
Sir, I got you thinking, I must say.
Yes. Very, very tricky question.
Thank you.
But I really appreciate your thoughts. Yeah, somebody probably that is, if I can remember, it was in Oxford. In Oxford? Probably someone, one student asked me. He's a postgraduate student, probably a research student. He asked me. I forgot his name. He asked me, how can you differentiate a human being with a God?
Sir, hats off to that question. I must say that. Hats off to that question.
So that was the probably a spine-chilling experience I had experienced standing in front of the entire student community. It was spine-chilling, so to say.
Can we have the answer also? Subhasis,
Sir, how chilling were you
Yes,
at that point of time with the answer then?
yes, I had staggering knees for 1 second. I can tell you honestly, I was staggering knees because I had to answer the questions. I had to answer that particular question since it was asked on an official QA session, and I honestly speaking, I had to basically what I answered actually was taking some kind of inputs from a book written by Sai Baba. It was not my the whole answer was not from me actually. It was
So it was not the
the
original answer, you mean to say?
exactly. It was not actual answer by me. I had to take some inputs from a write-up made by Sai Baba in one of his book during his journey. So I had to, borrow that inputs to answer back this question. And my answer was that God knows that He is God. A human being doesn't know that he or she is also a part of the God.
Sir, I have another answer for this in case possibly the fraternity permits me to answer.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
So there is, being a Hindu, there is something which I have been brought up to, and I would like to say that God could not reach everywhere. God could not reach everywhere, and that's why He created Ma.
Mm-hmm.
That is the answer, sir. That is the difference.
Yeah. You're absolutely right. God was not there everywhere, could not be everywhere. So He created Mother.
That's all, sir. That's my answer, as short and sweet possible. And this is the original
Thank
answer,
you.
not from Sai Baba's book.
Yeah, I know. Good one.
This is the
one.
book of your life and my life,
Yes.
and
Very
possibly
nice.
everybody else's life as well. Thank you so much for answering that.
Truth. Yes.
So the only way I could have answered this is God has no limits. Human being has lots of limitations.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, that is there.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you
For
Anyone
joining.
else? Thank you, UK. Thank you, Prashantji. Anyone else? Someone has messaged the point about men experiencing pain and needing to cry is an important one. Unfortunately, society still imposes on men the need to remain macho.
Because we are a patriarchal society. We discussed that.
Yes, but I want to tell whoever has commented this, I want to tell him or her that society is always there around you, and they will perceive things in their own way, but don't pay much heed to what society is saying and perceiving, looking at you. You do your work the way you want to, and try to pave paths to success. Don't pay much heed to the society. Society will not, save you from any kind of danger. But then society is required as an ecosystem. It's always there. But I have, through my hard days, through my hard experiences, I have understood that you should work and move ahead the way you want to, or your close family members want you to go ahead with. But then